sound familiar? Ah, Method. How could they possibly lose this match? Well,
it's almost like it's last season.
I know, right? Yeah, the Clappers, they have all three of us against them, which means if you are predicting amongst your friends, pick them to win, because that's how it always goes. But they really need to get Petrick started. I mean, that's key for the Clappers. I mean, he has struggled so far this season. You've got Calix and Ocelon that are way up here in the all the stats. Petrick down near the lower end of just about every statistical category. Numbers aren't everything. Certainly a lot of intangibles that come into play in a team's success, but we have to see it from Petrick. I think even for his own psyche, getting a couple of goals early would be huge for him.
Yeah, one thing that worries me about Method on the other side of things is they have the second lowest total goals, but through 2 series. And that is a little concerning, because that means, obviously, that they're not scoring. And if you start to fall behind, if you have to make some sort of comeback, reverse sweep, stuff like that, it's tougher to do when you're struggling to score. So look for Method, if they gain a lead, to keep it.
They did have a convincing win over Excel. Take it for what it's worth. Problem is, we harp on shooting percentage so much. They only shot 26% in that series. They're not hitting the net with the frequency they would like to, that's for sure. So we are underway. Burrito B looking to increase that shooting percentage early. He has not, as that one's saved away. Now Burrito B back across for Casio, and now they'll just trade places. Casio gonna take this himself to the backboard, and it's Petrick and Ocelon. Double commit, nobody home, and nobody able to get there in time. Burrito B scores.
And Method starting off with full possession and in full control there. For the Clappers, they could really do nothing but just watch this ball go past us. Really only one player connected with a touch there, and Method starting off with getting everyone involved in full control on offense.
See how long it takes Rick Ronde to get into this series as well. Burrito B scoring initially here. It's going to be Ocelon. Casio waiting. That's going to be kicked across. It's right at Calix. Big drive, and it's just pinned against the crossbar by Rix Ronde. Back the other way. Here is Rix. No double tap as Petrick is there. Casio, 5 of the team's 6 goals against Savage last week. Not able to add to his tally just yet. Here's Rix Ronde, who was held scoreless in that series, but he's not able to get on the board just yet either. Now Rix, not able to get around on one to keep it in front. Casio, you could argue he won that challenge with Petrick, kept that ball in the corner, but Method aren't able to capitalize, and Burrito B has to rush back. Here's Calix with another drive, and Burrito B again, stout on the defensive end.
Method are doing a great job of stopping the shots, at least when they come on target from Calix, but man, he is taking some rips on net right now. You do not want this man firing off so many shots, because they will drop.
That's one that could drop, but Rix Ronde throws one right at Ocelon. Shot placement, so important at this level, and Method have struggled with that. Here's Rix Ronde, through one. Needs to get this in front with the Batmobile. Gonna get a little help actually from Ocelon, just slowing that ball down on the backboard. And now Ocelon does have Calix downfield, but Rix Ronde able to break free. Petrick in front, blocked away by Casio. And again, we talked so much about Casio and the impact that he's had on this Method team, being a newcomer to the rival series. The honeymoon period's over though. Now he needs to keep it up consistently. This one's given away to Ocelon. Clappers back on the attack. Clever touch from Petrick to get around one, but he can't get past Rix Ronde. May not matter. Ocelon shot wide and nobody there to follow up. And it's going to be an empty net back the other way. It is Casio doubling the lead for Method.
And Casio coming into this series with 6 goals, make it 7 now after putting this one away. And Method starting off hot here, just past halftime, up 2-0.
So they're scored once in each half. Can Method keep it up, or will the Clappers get back into this game? Big demo to start things off. And Ocelon looking for Petrick, not able to find him. That pass just a little too strong. Rix Ronde now. Over towards Petrick. Problem is they're not teammates. Here's Oceania looking to take advantage of a bad touch, but it was a clever defensive touch instead on the part of Method, and they really have been very good defensively. Calyx had a few opportunities early, but they haven't given up anything since then. All they've done is score as Burrito B gets his second.
And Burrito B linking up with Casio is nothing new for Method. Both of these players coming into this week had the exact same goal participation of 61%. They link up here. I assume it's going to go higher, and Method off to a hot start here.
Clappers watching this game, maybe this match, start to slip away from them very early on. Gonna be Petrick with a good win in the corner. Needs some help in front. It's Oceania, and Casio just gets there in time. Rix Ronde over Calyx. Oceania coming up. That's gonna leave Petrick all alone. And you wonder now, the Clappers, they're going to start pushing forward a lot more. Doesn't matter how many goals they give up if they can't score any of their own. They are turned aside yet again, though. Calyx trying to line one up, and instead met by the defensive Rix Ronde.
Well, one thing about Method, while I said that they had the second lowest total goals, they also have the second lowest total goals against, meaning that they're having very strong defensive showings in their games and not letting in too many goals. So with a 3-0 lead, you would expect Method to hold on.
Casio taking his time, and he does win that challenge over Oceania. Back the other way, though. Rix Ronde to Casio. Oh. That'll find Burrito B. It's a hat trick.
And it's a beautiful play here. You see Rix Ronde, he just drops it down, finds Casio. Burrito B's waiting upfield past the entirety of the defense there from Clappers. A free shot for him, and it's a 4-0 lead.
Oh, the shooting has been so much better for Method here in game number 1. Off to a very rapid start. Maybe adding more, though. Rix Ronde has just run underneath this ball. They don't need any more. They've got a 4-0 lead. Banked towards Casio. Rix Ronde looking to guide it towards them. Right now the Clappers just looking to get any kind of offense, and everything's just moving way too slowly for them. They look like a team that's been beaten here in game 1 very convincingly. 2 shots just clanging off the backboard, and that should just about do it. The final countdown of game number 1 looking like a convincing shutout on the part of Team Method, as Burrito B will just about kill this. Petrick shot. Do they have one for the highlight reel? No, they do not. Turned aside yet again by Method, as dominant as they could have asked for in game 1.
Yeah, very impressed here with how Method starts here in game number 1. You see 8 shots, converting 4 of them. That's a great ratio for this team. Burrito B, a standout star here in game number 1, putting away quite a bit of goals for Method and being that offensive force for them.
Yeah, now for the Clappers, it's got to be a quick turnaround. I mean, what you need after a game like that is you need a quick answer. First minute, you got to score a goal or 2, just so you don't feel like you're completely lifeless in this series. Because if you let Method get off to another fast start in game 2, this could be a very short series.
Well, and one of the things, I mentioned those statistics about Method and their defense and how they have a great defense. They don't let in a lot of goals. On the flip side, for the Clappers, they average about 2 goals. They let in 2 goals a game. And you saw it here, and that's not very good. That's only better than Copenhagen Flames and Excel, which are the bottom 2 teams. And Clappers do not want to be thrown into that pile. They're 1-2 right now. If they fall to 1-3, we start thinking about them like that. So if they can even out and stabilize with a 2-2 record here, this would be a huge win for Clappers. But again, Method looked extremely strong. A little quiet on the Rix Ronde side, but that's okay when Casio and Burrito B are playing extremely well.
Yeah, Rix Ronde yet to really get involved in the scoring, but again, you don't need it when Burrito and Casio play as well as they did. A hat trick for Burrito B, playmaker for Casio in game number 1. We're underway in game 2 on Neo Tokyo now, as Calyx looking for his safety valve behind him, but Oceania not there in time, and here comes Method looking for yet another quick start. Remember, they just bombarded the net in the early stages of game 1 before finally they forced a double commit. They haven't forced one here, and in fact, Burrito B going out of his way to take out Petrick hasn't led to a goal just yet, as Petrick recovers, and he drops that down to the corner.
Calix, he had a couple great drives early on in game number 1, but he couldn't find the back of the net, and then after the first 2 that we saw, not much from him after that. So for the Clappers, you want your goal scorer hot, you want him to be taking shots, and that didn't come through for Calix.
Petrick, full tank of boost, but he'll give way to Ocelon. And now Burrito B. Can he center one here? He has, but it's right there for Petrick. Much better defensively for the former Market eSports sub. That one's going to be blocked away by Calix. Now Ocelon met by Rix Ronde. That's in front with Burrito B bearing down on him. They're not out of it just yet. Cassio was given the double touch, put it high, and there's Rix Ronde finally scoring one.
And Rix Ronde coming in, just flying in here after it comes off the backboard. Cassio just another one off the backboard. Great angle here from Rix Ronde on that challenge, able to put it away. And again, Method strikes first, and it's off the back of Rix Ronde.
So there's one for Method. It took him a little bit longer this time. Over a minute into game number 2, but it's just more of the same. Calix finally able to at least clear the zone, but it's coming right back in, and Cassio just not able to catch up to that one.
And those are the plays that Method wants, finding either Burrito B or Cassio down the field. We saw it in the last game where all 3 of them got involved, Burrito B down the field. That's another one where Cassio, if he can put that one on target, would be huge for Method.
Really feels like only a matter of time before they double this lead as that's blocked away. Burrito B crashing in. And Rix Ronde, very patient play there with Calix all over him. Oh, this is clever stuff. It'll be Cassio now. Dispossessed only for a moment by Petrick. Rix Ronde around in front, and Calix, important clear to keep Method at bay, at least for now. Coming up on the halfway point has been much better for the Clappers. They can defend just fine. They haven't been able to get on the offensive end, though. Another one, Rix Ronde is not going to have the boost for this, so he's just there just to remind everybody he exists. Calix going to lean into one, and that's going to be blocked by Rix Ronde. Back the other way it goes. Petrick needs this ball. He's got it, but he can't follow up. And that's another thing. Clappers, they don't feel like they've had a lot of boost at all. Normally, you'd see guys going for some of these double taps off the backboard. Clappers haven't been able to get it there, let alone follow it.
Yeah, you mentioned they are able to play defense but not keep possession. As soon as I say it, they actually get full possession on the cut from Ocelon. What a beautiful cut from him as he cuts through the defense, able to find the back of the net.
Wow, yeah, this is great from Ocelon. Got his lead blocker there in Calix, forcing the defense out of the way. And finally, the Clappers get their first goal of this series. It took 8 minutes of gameplay, but now they've tied up game number 2. And they steal one, perhaps, in this series and tie everything up. It's going to be Calix right at Cassio. Not a lot of power behind that. I haven't seen a lot of power behind Calix's shots, where in game 1, he was letting zingers fly at the net. Here's Ocelon, a little floater. Cassio does all he can just to keep this out of harm's way. And Rix Ronde, wow, that was very dangerous. A lot of trust he put in Cassio, but it's worked out.
And it seems like the Clappers, for a second there at least, kind of come alive. The offense looking very strong in that segment of play there, but for the Clappers, it's got to be more. They have got to keep doing this if they want to win this series, or at least tie it up here in game number 2.
Calix not able to catch up with this. It's Cassio now. Petrick, nothing doing. Beaten by Burrito B. Calix, not the best. It's going to be right at Rix Ronde, but he was tracking back a little bit. Now it's Petrick. Good pop up, but Burrito B right there. Double commit for Method, though. Haven't seen a whole lot of that. Cassio there to calm everything down in the final minute of a tie game. Another opportunity for the Clappers. Loose in front, and Petrick, not a lot of power. It's cleared away by Rix. Burrito B, Petrick who wins it. The ball wins the challenge. Here's Ocelon. That's well high, and no follow-up again for the Clappers. They really are just one and done, maybe 2 and done at times in the offensive zone, but it's been enough to stay in this game. Ocelon needed that midfield boost. Now he's gotten it. Petrick. Calix trying to run interference on Casio. Didn't get there. Overtime is looming here as we look to end game number 2. Burrito B. The center, and it's cleared away. OT, here we come.
And Clappers really have come alive here. It's true. They've done it. After their first goal, they've played a much better game, not spending so much time on defense like they were in the beginning of this game, but it might be all for nothing as it's Casio who plays spoiler and takes away game number 2.
This ball just kind of cascading down right on Ocelon. He didn't have a good read on it, and therefore not a good clear, and Casio just waiting on the doorstep, and after all of that, Method take game 2 in overtime.
And I'm sitting here complimenting Clappers, saying how great they played that game. Yeah, they were on the defensive foot for a little while there in the beginning. Method definitely was combining. I was complimenting Method on how the team play was going and how they were able to find each other in the midfield. The passing was coming through for them. But once that first goal dropped for the Clappers off of Ocelon, a great solo play from him, excuse me, he played, the Clappers in total played extremely well. And I think that the reset on the OT might have messed them up a little bit, I guess, and the offense came through. Casio able to put away the shot for Method, but for the Clappers, that one's got to sting because that one was one that they could have definitely won.
Yeah, it's got to be very deflating, I think, for the Clappers. They only had 2 saves on all those shots that Method sent in game number 1. 5 saves the second time around. They were much better defensively. The problem is you lost. So now you go into game 3, you got to be wondering, well, what do we got to do to actually beat these guys? And there is no easy answer. Believe me, if we had an easy answer, we'd be playing.
We would be playing, yes. And I think that for the Clappers right now, I think the biggest thing for them is getting Calix going. I mean, coming into this series, he had 15 goals in 12 games. Now, Stacks, it's 15 goals in 14 games because he hasn't scored yet. So for the Clappers, this guy's 74% of your goal participation, and we're not seeing him at all.
Well, we need to see everybody from the Clappers stepping up in a big way in game 3 and 4 and 5 if they get there. We're underway in a must-win for the Clappers, as Casio will try to start things off for Method. That's going to be right at Burrito B, the last person the Clappers wanted to see on the ball, but Rix Ronde could not just sneak that one in on the near post. Now it's Rix. He'll try to play table center instead, and Casio not able to make contact. Just looking for a thin touch to drop that down. Just wasn't there. Now Rix Ronde having to expend a little extra boost just to stay on possession on the wall. And now Ocelon, second touch is exactly what he needed. And the Clappers trying to get in business here in game 3. That is not going to help. And this is saved by Ocelon. But again, you don't have to play perfect, but there are mistakes you can't afford to make. And we're already seeing the Clappers make some of those mistakes.
You don't have to play perfect, Stacks, but you do need to play well. And that's exactly how Method has been playing throughout this entire series. And I think that the synergy between the team is something that's very strong, very apparent with this Method squad.
This is sent away by Casio, only as far as Petrick, and Ocelon not there for the pass. This goes back the other way, courtesy of Rix Ronde. Who's going to make the biggest mistake in the early stages of game 3? Petrick now, looking for Ocelon. We've seen Ocelon a few times now just kind of make that turn instead of rotating back, and I wonder if that's going to come back to bite the Clappers, as Petrick may have been looking for Ocelon. Instead, he is met by very quick defense from Method. Now Petrick. They just cannot clear this zone. Every time it looks like they're about to set up shop on Method's side of the field, you see an orange trail coming right back into the blue zone. It's going to be Burrito B, dunked on by Petrick, drops down, and Casio's there for the save. Just the inverse of what happened in overtime of game 2. Now Rix Ronde, good first touch, good second touch, but that's going to go across. Ronde now for Burrito B. He's missed it. Casio's got to get there, and he does. And that may be the biggest difference between these two teams. Casio able to bail out his teammates time and again, but not this time. Petrick gives Clappers their first lead of the night.
It's fallen on Casio 3 times to save the Method team here, and the third time was not it. It's Petrick just popping it up and over. Casio could do only so much for his team, and the Clappers find themselves in the lead.
Alex just about wins this through, but Burrito B is there. Rick's Ronde now. Not the touch he may have been looking for, but it may work out. This to the corner, and it's going to be just wide. Now Oceania. Calix watching as Oceania tries to put himself on the highlight reel. Got in the way of Casio, but there's Burrito B to save the day for Method. And again, nobody for the Clappers able to make them pay. This is falling towards the net, and Calix, good call off there as he's able to come in and clear this ball away.
And Method, they've done a pretty good job on stopping a lot of things from the Clappers. Obviously, they are down by 1 goal here, but they really haven't been able to put too many things on target. They've had a couple opportunities that didn't fall through for them, and that's the difference right now in this game.
Casio, big drive, and it's stopped by Petrick. Clappers trying to stave off this closeout effort from Method, trying to avoid being swept in week 2. Now Casio over Burrito B. It looked like they might have tried to have a pinch play going on. It didn't work out. Now Rick's Ronde after the miss, and finally Rick's will score the equalizer, and the Clappers have got to be kicking themselves.
Great touch from Casio, and huge miss on the Clappers side. Nobody connecting on that one. You cannot let a ball go off your back wall if you're the Clappers. Method punishes and ties up the game.
Just over a minute remains now. And we talk about momentum swings all the time. Already things were working against the Clappers. Method have got a huge boost back in their favor. This is going to go to the corner. Petrick has this taken away by Burrito B. Out in front for Rick's Ronde looking to take over, but not able to double his scoreline. Now Calix waiting for him to have that boomer into the back of the net. Has not happened just yet. It's kicked away. Petrick in front. Calix all the way back. And he has to be, because look at how quickly Method can get back downfield. Casio shot wide. Burrito B, that's on target. And Petrick has to recover just to clear it away, and he takes out Rick's Ronde. Not out of it yet, though. Casio denied by Oceania. Here comes Rick's Ronde, looking for vengeance. Off the
Burrito B.
Burrito shots high. Oh, he's going to want that one back. Method are going to feel like they should have got this in regulation, but they'll have to do it in OT if they want the sweep.
And I thought that drive from Burrito B there at the end, he had a lot of time to get to that ball, and just wide for him. And again, we go to another overtime, and this is great for the Clappers as they just need 1 goal to force another game, but we all saw how that ended up in the last game.
Oh, this overtime has already gone longer than the last one as Casio clearing one off the line. This does not angle downward, and that shot's high. Casio has called off his teammate Burrito. Now Calix, right there at Burrito B. Well positioned is the Method defense. You can see they're spaced out, and Rick's Ronde. Well, that shot was going to beat Casio by a mile, and Burrito B just jumps in front. Clever touch to send this downfield. Burrito B with the slow play, and it's going to be cleared by Oceania.
Heads up play there from Burrito B, but here comes the Clappers back the other way. Both teams kind of going down the field quick at each other.
Rick's Ronde not able to get anything going. Casio for Rick, and he's come up empty. Third time perhaps the charm for Method on this attack. Burrito B, that's through, and Rick's Ronde scores yet again. He comes up huge in game 3, and it's a sweep for Method.
And Burrito B, I really can't tell if he missed or he intentionally didn't hit that ball, because he had just done it down the field before, but regardless, it works out for Method. They find the back of the net in overtime again, and they take the series.